and I'm here to talk to you about building and maintaining a fire if you get lost when you're hiking. Now, fire is very useful for reasons. First of all, it's going to keep you warm. And second of all, it can be used to cook food, boil water, all kinds of other important stuff that you're going to need if you're going to survive up there in the mountains. But before you build a fire, there are a couple things you have to do. The first one, besides finding firewood, is to make sure that you have a place where you can properly build a fire. That means a place that's relatively clear of vegetation, otherwise it's going to spread, and a place that's relatively level so that you can control the fire better. Now, once you've scouted out a location, it's time to get firewood. Obviously, you're going to want to be in a place where there are trees if you're going to find firewood. But what you're looking for in firewood are different kinds of branches. You want small twigs that you're going to use to start the fire, really small ones. Those are the kindling. That's what you use at the very beginning. Then you want some medium-sized branches that are going to be used to help build up the fire. And then you want some logs that you can use to keep the fire going for a long period of time. Now, unless you're carrying an axe with you, it's going to be hard to get these. So what you do is go into heavily wooded areas where trees have already fallen down on their own, ending the need for you to have to go down there and hack them down. If you go to a place like that, anytime a storm has hit, usually some branches are on the ground, you can find a whole bunch of branches of different sizes. You can just break them all off, and you'll probably find some logs too, although it may take you some time to root them from the ground. Now, of course, you want the wood to be dry, otherwise it's not going to burn very easily. So look for wood that's dry, and if all you can find is wet wood, then you got to keep it out in the sun for a while until it dries off. The next thing you have to do is build your fire. You start by assembling lots of kindling together, and then you build a pyramid around it, first with small twigs, then larger ones, then some branches, and once you have a nice pyramid, then you can put a log or two around it. And once the fire is going, that's when you add more logs. So at this point, you don't want to worry about that. Then what you have to do is light the fire. Now, if you have matches with you, you're in good shape. But if you don't have matches, you're going to have to rub some sticks together for a while until you get a flame going. Once you have that fire going, keep it going, because you never know when you'll have difficulty in the future getting the fire started. So continue to feed the fire and build it, but keep a close eye on it. If you're traveling in a group, then you want to keep the fire going constantly. If you're completely by yourself, it might make sense to actually put the fire out if you're not using it, because then the fire could get out of control if you're not watching it. As much as you want to stay warm, you also don't want to have to deal with a forest fire.